Welcome to Randa Women. My name is Patchanee Malikhao, your host of this program. My guest today is Randa Nachbar. She is an American, a veteran volunteer for Randa Women. I would like to introduce you to her. Hi, Randa.
Hi, Pat.
How are you?
I am fine.
Are you still excited?
I am very excited. I love this program.
So you are a volunteer of Randa Women?
I am. I'm a driver. And I really enjoyed picking up the young international women to do our activities.
You moved from New York?
Yes, I did.
How many years ago?
20 years ago to this area.
So what have you been doing in Amherst, apart from being a volunteer for Randa Women?
My field is early childhood education, so I worked at the Amherst Family Center for 5 years as coordinator, and now I've started a toy library in town.
Mm-hmm. So I know that you are involved in the co-housing project as well. So let's talk about your co-housing project, and then we'll talk about your toy libraries and the family center.
Mm-hmm.
Take one after another.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Because the reason I would like to start with the co-housing project first, because you offer the place, the kitchen, to be a gathering place for around the world women for their Thanksgiving festival, so that they can come and sample the food, right? So tell me a bit about the place. This is a special place, right?
Yes, it's a very special place. It started 18 years ago, and we're a community like a village, 32 households, and we know each other quite well. Our parking is around the outside, so it's a safe place for children to be on the inside. We're condominiums. We have meals a couple times a week together, and it's a perfect place to have Thanksgiving dinner. The first year I was with Round the World Women, Thanksgiving dinner, which is in the morning, at 10 a.m. was at the public library, which is not the best place to have. We have a kitchen and lots of tables, so it's a really nice place to be. When I was working Tuesday mornings, I would take the day off so I could host all the women coming. And in addition to trying out all the Thanksgiving foods, I take people on a tour of co-housing and into our house, because many of these international people don't have the opportunity to go into American homes and see what they're like.
And it's special because no one ever knew that this kind of housing exists in the U.S.
That's right. It's a very community-oriented kind of housing, and many people from other countries find it familiar because it's a village. There are people of all ages, and we get to know each other well and rely on each other.
That's wonderful. Where did you get this model from?
The model comes from Denmark. There were two American architects who brought it to the U.S. There are now over 100 co-housing projects in the U.S., and there are also some in Europe, in Australia, and New Zealand.
And how do you select the members?
Members are not selected. They want to join. They come to get to know us. They go to meetings. They have information, and they join our wait list.
And how do they know about you, about your co-housing? You have an association or you have a website?
There's a national organization of American co-housing groups, and many people get to know us by word of mouth, or they come to the area, and we welcome people to come on a tour and to see what we're about.
And you have international people living in there too?
We have some. We, of course, would like many more. One family went to China for a year, and they rented their house to an Italian family. We currently have a family who come from Germany, but we welcome all different kinds of people.
Interesting. But tell me, please, about the how uh, the situation, the landscape of the place. You have like a 2 bedroom or 1 bedroom. It's all like apartments, right, with shared utilities.
It's called condominiums, so we do own the inside. They range from 1 bedrooms to 3 bedroom. There are some attached and some separate homes. All the parking is on the outside. And then there's a shared common space. We call it the common house. A big kitchen, a dining room, a children's room, laundry, library, guest rooms. In addition, there's a workshop called the Annex for woodworking and messy projects. And then there's a shared office building for people who want to work at home but want to work around other people, so they can have an office, and we share a copier and a conference room there.
Oh, that's intensive. And you also have community gardens, I heard.
Oh yes, community
What do you do
gardens
there?
and chickens.
Community chickens?
Yes, there are chickens, both meat chickens and egg-laying chickens.
How do you divide the work? Everyone has to share some work there?
Yes, part of our requirements are 6.5 hours a month of work per adult in the community, as well as condo fees.
Oh, okay. So what do you do for 6.5 hours?
It can be cooking a meal for the common house, it can be doing dishes, it can be gardening, it can be attending meetings, snow plowing, lawn mowing. There's endless amounts to do.
So
in the
every task has an equal weight?
Yes, it does. And we are self-managing. So we take care of everything ourselves as much as we can.
Do you have any dispute or any problem living together like that?
Oh yes, you know, people who live together are going to have problems, but we have ways to work them out. We have different ways, such as mediation or clearings. And one of the nice things is, since we know each other well, we work hard to solve our problems, to talk them through and figure out what would work best for everyone, rather than just stay angry.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Anger management.
Yes.
The real thing, real
Yes.
thing, living in a community. But everyone has a kitchen, so you don't need to come to the common to cook, right?
Correct. We have our own
You
homes.
have your own home,
Yes.
everything, facilities, everything, but you still share some meals. How many days a week?
Monday night and Wednesday night, every week for 18 years, we've had shared meals. You can sign up if you want to go. And people take turns cooking and cleaning. They're quite good and healthy and very reasonably priced.
Oh, you charge people who come and eat in the community?
Yes,
I
because
see.
we have to pay for the food.
I see. And can someone from the outside go to eat there too?
They can contact somebody who lives there and
I
come as their
see.
guest, yes.
I see. So you are very generous throughout the world, women, to invite the whole bunch of like 60, 70 people to your kitchen.
Oh, yes.
And still you can accommodate more, up to
Yes.
100 or something?
Exactly, yes. Yes, it's a nice big space.
Wow. And now please tell me about your community family center.
Well, in downtown Amherst, there's an Amherst Family Center. That's a drop-in program for parents to come with their children and play. It's almost like an indoor playground. There is a sandbox or a water table and blocks and a pretend area. And it's a great place for children to be with other children and parents to be with other parents.
Where is it situated?
Currently, it's in the rear of the Unitarian Meeting House.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
And you are moving to somewhere?
Yes. The Family Center will be in Grace Church while the Unitarian Meeting House expands. but I have left there now, and I have started something called the Toy Library.
Yes, please tell me about it.
I've started with a partner named Sanju Wang, who I knew from the Family Center. It was her idea, and we have lots of toys, gently used toys that people have donated, and it's based on a model like a book library, but it's for toys. People can come borrow toys. They're free to borrow. People can have them for 3 weeks, and we're located in the Bang Center. Center for New Americans generously offered us space to use right now.
Which floor is it?
It's on the second floor,
On the second
and we're open Wednesday and Thursday 11 to 1, and Friday mornings 9 to 12. And we're having a toddler play group Friday mornings for people who want to bring their children and stay with them.
So, and how is it related to Round the World Women?
Well, one of the things I do is certainly encourage the people from Round the World Women who have young children to come. When they come to this country, they don't have room to bring many things, so it's a great place for them to borrow toys and use them. It's also a wonderful place for us to practice English, talking to each other, and the children can enjoy each other and the toys. So every time I'm at Round the World Women, I'll announce it and encourage people to come.
And so far, how many people have come to your place?
It's a slow start. I can't give you a number, but we're hoping it will get more and more popular and word will spread. Everyone I tells about it say, what a great idea. Oh, I have things to donate. And we have a bin outside our door on the second floor. People can donate at any time and drop things in there.
I see. What do you accept and what you don't accept?
We accept toys for children, infants through 8 years old, but please no cloth, no dolls, because we don't want to have to deal with bugs.
No bugs.
And books we cannot keep to lend out, but if people want to give us books, we will pass them on to people who will enjoy them.
Oh, I see. So you are only dealing with toys?
Correct.
No books?
Right.
And no cloth toy?
Yes.
No plush toy either?
Plastic is fine.
Okay.
Plastic or wood
Plastic or
or
wood.
cardboard. We have things like rattles and blocks and games and push walkers. So people should come see what we have.
And how large is the room you got now?
It's a room center for New Americans use for childcare while they're teaching English to parents. So we have a couple of shelves in that room.
And you have staff members to take care of the toys?
Myself and Sanju right now.
I see.
Take care of them.
Are you wanting more volunteers?
Oh, we would love volunteers, yes, always.
Okay, now is your opportunity
Yes.
to announce for the opening of the toy library and volunteers.
Please contact us. We have an email address, amhersttoylibrary@gmail.com, and we will respond to you. Or come see us on the second floor of the Bank Center.
That's great, Randa. Nice to hear that there's good things going on in Amherst.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
And you yourself, you travel a lot?
Yes, in the past I have, not so much currently, but I've done a lot of international traveling. So I love being with women from all over the world
Where
and
have you
talking
been?
with them.
Where have you been?
I have been to China and the Philippines and Hong Kong, as well as Europe and New Zealand, Australia, Kenya. And I find traveling and talking to people from all over the world to be fascinating, just really helping me question what I take for granted and what other people take for granted. When I talk to the women here from China and I tell them I was there in 1984, they think, oh, it's changed so much since then. And I'm sure it has.
And what would you like them to know you American culture? What are good aspects of American culture that you would like Round the World women or the others you met to know about?
One of the things I'd like people to know about is how we really value creativity and innovation and education here, personal relationships, talking to each other, relying on each other. I'm not sure that part of American culture gets into the media as much, and that's certainly something that I think is very important.
And how about the American pop culture via the internet that, being globalized everywhere? What do you think about that?
Well, it's a piece of American culture, but there's so much more. And I think every country, every culture has things to offer, and it's important to preserve those. What's being promoted now should not take over from other cultures and other countries.
So from mingling with the international women from around the world women, what did you learn or what have you learned?
Well, one story I love to tell, I drove a Korean young woman a couple of years ago, and she helped her husband do schoolwork. And one morning she called me and said, I stayed up all night with my husband and helped him do schoolwork, and now we want to go out to breakfast. Where do you recommend going? And I said, well, what do you like to eat for breakfast? And she said, soup. And I said, soup? I've never had soup for breakfast. That's not American. I don't know if you can find soup here for breakfast, but what else would you like? But it really helped me to recognize that just because we don't eat soup for breakfast, other countries do.
So we have different ways of handling probably the same ingredients.
Very much so, yes.
So the way we wear clothes, the way we speak, or the way we treat each other.
Yes. Yesterday at Round the World Women, we had an international cooking morning, and it was lovely. There was food from Korea, food from Egypt, and food from India. And it was so delicious and so much fun to share it and to learn how different countries eat and enjoy their food.
That's very broad-minded of yours. Yeah.
Yes. Now, some people were saying that the Korean kimchi was a bit spicy, but it's fascinating to know that in different countries there are different spices like that.
Yeah, there are degree of spiciness
Yeah.
In the food. And I would like to know more about your experience with Round the World Women driving. Now you are driving how many women?
Well, in the fall, I drove a woman from the Sudan and her baby, a woman from India who was pregnant, another woman from India, and a woman from Iraq and her 4-year-old. That was in the fall. Most of them lived in North Village, which is the international housing at UMass. And now in the spring, the woman from Sudan is taking class, so she can't join us. And the Indian woman who was pregnant had her baby. So I'm driving 2 of the same women and have added a Chinese young woman. And she lives nearby in Puffton Village. And I find it fascinating. She's a ballroom dancer with her husband. So I've learned about ballroom dancing and how that happens in China as well as here.
I see. So I heard some people told me that they don't want to join Round the World Women as a volunteer. They don't want to commit their time. What would you respond to that?
Well, if you're available Tuesday mornings and can drive to local activities, I highly recommend it. But if you can't commit to that, you could be a substitute driver. We can always use, when somebody can't make it, somebody else to do the driving. The local activities are so much fun and really have helped me get to know the area. I've been here quite a while, but this year for the first time I went to the Amherst College Observatory.
Where
That
is
was
it?
fascinating.
Oh,
On the
on
Amherst
the Amherst
College
College.
campus.
I never been there either.
It's a planetarium.
Uh-huh.
And so that was fascinating. Another year we went to the Quabbin. I had never been there. It was a beautiful place to see, and I know it introduces women to the area, and then they can bring their husbands to do things like that.
That's wonderful. And that small thing that you initiated, like almost free of charge, like for the visit of Round the World Women, could you tell me a bit?
Well, one of the things I do is try and talk with the people I drive all the time. It's good to practice English and to share. And I encourage them to do things in the area that are no cost, such as going to the Amherst College Natural History Museum.
That is a good one.
That's
That
a
is
very
really
good one for adults and children to walk around. Another one I recommend is the Smith College Plant House. They have bulb shows in the fall and spring that are beautiful, but they're also open year-round for cactuses and banana plants, and it's a really nice indoor place to go in the winter.
Yeah, it's beautiful there. They
Yeah.
had the biggest like flower
Beautiful
in the
flower
world,
show.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's quite smelly.
Yes. It's very nicely scented.
Uh-huh. So you initiated those trips, right?
I encourage them and I talk to people and encourage them to go. But Round the World Women has been going to some of those places for many years now.
So I lived in Europe before, and I never had such an organization like Round the World Women. People said, I didn't have friends. You're not accepted because you're from a different culture. You don't speak our language. What do you say as an American Samaritan or volunteer of Round the World Women?
Well, one of the benefits of this is it helps people get to know each other and become friends with each other. These women, by and large, are here with their husbands. They can't work because they don't have a visa, and they're learning English, and they could use the opportunity to practice. And it's a really nice way to get to know people from their own country and from countries all around the world, and people to do things with. So it's a wonderful program, and I encourage anybody who meets an international person to recommend them our way. Yesterday at the program, I met a woman from Mexico who was there with her 2-year-old, and her husband works in the area, but she felt sort of isolated. So this was a great place for her to begin to connect with other people, both international and people who live here.
And for you guys, language fluency doesn't matter, right?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. We know people are learning and can use practice. We try and speak slowly so people understand us. We also tell them about opportunities such as the Jones Library. They have conversation groups and their English language classes that will help them.
That's good to know that there's wonderful people like Round the World Women volunteers who help others. I never had such an opportunity like this in Europe or in Australia, where I lived in Australia for about 6 years, and in Europe altogether about 14 years. Yeah, I think it's really a good way to reach out to international people and to get to know them, and for them to learn about your own culture, American culture.
Very much so. And many of the young women are new parents here, And as a new parent, you can become isolated because it's a lot of work to take care of a young child. But it's also important to get out and be with other parents and other young children.
To share experiences,
Exactly.
asking for advice.
Yeah, so you can go to the programs, you can also go to the family center. Playgrounds are also a wonderful place in good weather to go and connect with people.
And Randa, are you going to continue doing your work as a volunteer?
Oh, yes, yes. My family always says every time I talk about the program, I have such a big smile because I enjoy it so much.
And do you have anything to add for for people who want to join Round the World Women, or to say anything about Round the World Women?
Well, I encourage people who want to get involved to contact through UMass. There's Around the World Women through the International Programs Office, and it's a lot of fun.
Thank you so much, Randa, for your time and for your explanation about the co-housing, the family center, and the toy library, and about your wonderful experiences with Round the World Women. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Pat. I enjoyed
You're
it.
welcome. And thank you for your interest.